많이 아쉬웠죠. 왜냐하면은 절대 지면 안 되는 상대였다고 생각했어요. 저는 그날 진짜 멘탈이 너무 안 좋아져가지고 집 가자마자 그냥 잠만 자고 다시 생각나면 다시 맥주 마시고 자고 반복해가지고 겨우 잊었거든요. 그 정도로 좀 많이 힘들었었어요. 그 복귀한 사람들 중에서 이렇게 좀 성적이 나는 거는 제가 접기 전에 성적을 많이 내놨으니까 그게 그냥 그랬으면 영원하다라는 게 어느 정도 반영이 되는 것 같아요.
다른 선수들이 워낙 열심히 하시는 것도 있고 뭐 저희 선수들도 열심히 하는데 아프리카 팀 선수들이 많이 일찍 지는 거는 연습 부족이라고 생각해서 뭐 그거에 대해 문제점을 더 보완해야 되지 않을까 생각하고 있습니다. 뭐 제가 받아주는 것도 아니고 한번 제가 대표님한테 문의는 드려볼 텐데 모르겠네요. 성민이가 열심히 근데 이번에 전역한 후에 바로 뚫어가지고 개인적으로 좀 기대되고 있긴 해요.
그때 너무 잘했었어가지고 제가 제일 잘한다고 생각을 항상 해서 좀 자만을 많이 했던 것 같아서 최근에는 그래도 좀 많이 다른 저보다 거 많이 배운다는 마음가짐으로 하니까 좀 더 잘 되는 것 같아요. 또 GSL 때 성적을 결승까지 못 내면은 블리즈컨도 아예 못 가는 거라서 뭔가 더 목표가 뭔가 남다르고 이번에 더 잘할 수 있다고 생각을 하고 있어요. 옆에서 또 성호 하는 것도 많이 보고 배워서 성호처럼 또 한다면 저도 결승 갈 수 있을 거라 생각하고 있어요.
I feel good that I qualified, and last season I was one map away to renovate, so I hope I can do at least the same, get to renovate at least. I hope. Terran is not good, so it's just everything bad, and Protestants are too good. Marine? Okay, Marine is good. Chile? 쓰레기.
What do you think about Proton?
개사기. Use everything, all good. Koshin, Immortal, Shilot, Akon, Popong, all 사기.
좀 옛날 얘기긴 한데 제가 11년 말쯤에 연습생 시절이었는데 그때 이제 스타테라는 팀을 들어가게 됐는데 그때 이제 박성준 줄라이 형이 저를 많이 이뻐해 주셨어요. 조언도 많이 해주시고 그냥 그 게임하는 법도 알려주시고 제가 이제 게이머의 방향성 그런 걸 다 멘토처럼 다 알려주셨거든요. 그때부터 근데 제가 진짜 말도 안 되게 성적을 잘 냈어요. 뭐 인기도 많이 없고 그래서 항상 저는 이제 홍준이 형 생각하면서
My turning point was when I came to Korea, because I couldn't really play from my home. There's no really good practice anywhere, so that's my turning point.
슈퍼 토너먼트 우승이 됐던 것 같아요. 그때가 제일 반전이었고 그때 연습 때는 항상 실력적으로 너무 자신 있어가지고 대회 때 잘만 풀리면은 잘 할 거라고 생각을 했는데 그때 좀 마침 잘 풀려줘가지고 운도 되게 좋았던 것 같아요.
예전에 IPL이라는 해외대회 가서 우승한 거? 그거는 제 생각지도 진짜 1도 못한 그런 반전이었기 때문에 그거만큼 큰 반전은 없었던 것 같아요.
선수로 말하면 윤종이 형이랑 바뀌었으면은 좋겠다는 생각을 해요. 그래도 뭐 지금의 저도 좋긴 하지만 근데 이제 윤종이 형은 그 형은 뭐 어떻게 생각할지 모르겠죠. 저 스스로 라이벌을 생각했고 서로 도움이 많이 됐고 시너지도 많이 났기 때문에 저는 공격적인 스타일이고 윤종이 형은 방어적인 스타일이었기 때문에 윤종이 형은 그리고 국내 우승이 있잖아요. 저는 그게 굉장히 좋게 치기 때문에 제 게이머 인생에서 무조건 국내 우승이 있냐 없냐 그래서 윤종이 형 바꿀 수 있으면 그나마 뭐 윤종이 형이랑 바꾸겠네요 아마.
딱히 생각이 안 나는데.
솔직히 게이머들 성적 말고는 딱히 받고 싶은 선수들이 없어가지고 다 비정상이라서 게이머들이 워낙 어렵긴 한데 바꾸고 싶으면은 저는 항상 대여비를 뽑았던 것 같아요. 그냥 대여비가 워낙 순수하고 열심히도 하고 워낙 성실한 애라 뭔가 대여비처럼 그냥 아무 생각 없이 게임만 열심히 할 수 있는 그런 상태도 한번 대바꿔보고 싶긴 해요.
I want to trade with TY how cute he looks. He looks cute.
Cute?
Yeah.
Just that?
Yeah.
No career, no
No,
실력.
just cute.
Just cute?
Yeah.
How about Baron?
No, he's not cute.
Really?
No.
You are most cute?
Yes, on top.
2019 Mountain Dew GSL Season 3 Codex Reversal.
My God, these guys are so funny.
They couldn't clip that fast enough, Artosis.
Jeez.
So many of our viewers, just the upvotes in their eyes. That's gonna go on like why goes so DC inside all the Korean forums. It's gonna be good. I feel like anywhere PartinG goes, good interviews follow him. But this time it was special, really delivering.
Well, he really wrecked it. But I did learn something about PartinG that I didn't know, that July was his mentor.
Dude, you gotta
I
pick
had no
somebody to
idea.
be mentored by. July is way up on the list.
Well, that's so interesting because they play different races. They kind of play different games. They both were StarCraft 1 players. July was big in that. They both were StarCraft 2 players. PartinG was big in that. July did make a finals, but whatever. But they play different races, but a similar style, actually. Both very aggressive players. That's fascinating, though. I'm really excited to have learned that from that interview.
Man, there's so many stories like that that don't come out for like years and years and years and years and years. Obviously, that was 2011 he was talking about, 8 years ago. Very different time, but let's get into our winners match, PartinG versus Rogue. Our first map is Thunderbird. Let's do it.
Fight.
It's a prime number,
What about
Artosis.
40? Are you sure?
Pixel 1. PartinG.
I don't know. You're the type of guy that might know that.
Well, yes, it's a Mercine Prime in the 8th Fibonacci number, Artosis.
It's not.
No.
Actually. It's not the.
You saw through my clever
Air
disguise.
Green Wings. Rogue.
One day I'll be as good at math as Rogue is at video games. He looked pretty good in that first series.
Yeah, he looked really great, and actually PartinG did too. Now, going into this, like, I would favor Rogue, even though PartinG has had better results lately. Just, I don't know. It just pops in my mind. I'm like, well, oh my God, 5-0.
That's a pretty
from the
good
old,
result.
But that's old.
Well,
That's
I mean,
old.
so is PartinG, right?
Yeah, no, it is. But like, Rogue came into his own in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, but I mean, the big point is that they haven't played each other offline in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah.
And even though you can find Legal Act stats to say anything, for the most part, when it comes to GSL practicing offline tournaments, we really don't know what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Well, you know, PartinG showing those great macro plays against Special makes me question what we're going to see from him, right? Now, overall, this is kind of a macro map, and King's Cove is map 3 for us, so that's kind of a macro map too. Now, is he going to bust out, like, are we going to see Stargate PartinG into normal macro play, or, like, are we just... Because normally it's cannon rushes and immortal pushes.
Oh,
from
yeah,
him,
no,
right?
for sure. No, but PartinG definitely capable of giving us games like those. Ever since I saw Honorable Macro Protoss Classic do the dirtiest cannon rush to Sue last season, I just, I have horrific nightmares of that. So let's see what the scouting information is going to send. Oh, he's going to try to block it, but he doesn't get it in time.
What was... That was...
Yeah, so he's going to build the hatchery to block for the Zergling Swell coming behind this, because it's nothing but lanes in production.
Well, interesting when he chose to bring the drone in for that block. But anyways, there are a lot of Zerglings being made. We'll see what he can get done with that. Of course, PartinG could not see that a hatchery was trying to be made, but it's very suspicious to have a drone come in at that time, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, as the adept getting out there on the map, obviously you're not too threatened by speedless Zerglings, so this is pretty much the exact situation that Rogue did not want to have, and now he's still trying to catch this adept. The Shade about to finish, so it is not in too much trouble, but he misses half the Zerglings. They craftily run around, and now he's going to be able to take out the only pylon powering everything.
Oh my God, he doesn't quite get the pylon. We need a full wall there from PartinG. Looks like he is going to go that way. Baneling Nest is going to be finishing up quickly here. A lot of Zerglings on the way right now, though.
There's not too much health on those blocking buildings, but there might just barely be enough. Thank goodness those buildings build themselves. That's going to be it for the first one, but obviously there's more behind it, and I mean, Rogue is going to keep going. There's Banelings behind this. This is it for Rogue, and I think he identified a key weakness here for PartinG, but I think PartinG just might barely hold on.
He might, but the Baneling's coming. I don't think he's actually expecting that.
What else does he have? I mean, he has a Sentry, so obviously that's pretty good.
The Sentry is the really clutch key unit here.
They're starting to break through. He's waiting. Oh!
Good explosions right there, actually, to make sure he killed that off all the way. And that actually takes a lot of the healing potential away as well. And Immortal comes down. That's not going to be all that helpful.
Yeah, not really. PartinG takes it after Rogue says, well, maybe next game.
Yeah,
that did not work out.
Enough buildings coming up that it looks like Rogue going to give up there. Rogue, once again, pulling out the cheese. He's mixing it up a little bit this season. But PartinG, with his virtuous macro Protoss, with his virtuous macro Immortal coming out.
We're co-opting
on.
his storyline like a WWE player. We just don't even care what his history was. He's ours now, and we can make him whatever we want. He's got a new story arc that's beginning to unfold before our eyes, Artosis.
I tell you, this is an upside-down world that I'm in right now. Rogue is cheesy and PartinG's defending it, and I don't know what's what. Interesting build there from PartinG. Rogue, rather. Sorry. I think that if that hatchery had gotten down, that might have done it for him, right?
You know, it's rare that we see little tiny things like a silhouette of a hatchery mean the difference between that build like really working out or not working out. And obviously, we don't know what would have happened if you had gotten that down, but safe to say PartinG was pretty happy you could build buildings in that space.
Yeah. Kind of important. So we're going to... Oh, I thought King's Cove was map 3 for some reason. It's map 2. New Repugnancy going to be for set 3. Let's see. It's another macro map.
That's the game is ready. Let's find out. King's Cove. It's game 2. The upper left of King's Cove as Protoss, he is.
Pixel 1, PartinG.
Everybody waves their Pixel 1 phones in the audience to cheer him on. I didn't catch.
Are they going to have to change their team name again?
They're just killing it, man, one after another.
Jin Air Green Wings, Rogue.
They named their team after a company that already existed, so killing it. What's up?
So, yeah, no, I don't know what's up, but we're seeing all these different styles pop up and everything. I mean, last season was the season of upsets. There was so much cheese, so much aggression going on. Here we have Rogue, who is generally just the most late game guy that there is. But to be fair, when he first started getting known, he had a lot of like kind of pocket strategies, a lot of cheesy, aggressive things. So it's not like it's outside of his area, right?
Yeah, maybe a couple, 2-3 years ago, we used to have a lot of big macro maps in the map pool, like things like Dusk Towers, you know. And he was one of the first guys that would do this kind of weird, like double, triple Nidus with swarm hosts, and like really, you know, innovate a lot of things that a lot of players really wouldn't consider, you know, doing before that. And for Rogue, I would never characterize him as the cheesy player, but I do think that's kind of a one-off. So hopefully we get back to normal. And the round of 32 is just a strange time to be alive, Artosis.
Yeah, some crazy things have been occurring this year. So 3 hatcheries going up. Nothing too surprising or odd going on at the moment. This is a map where it's pretty hard to kill your opponent, you know, early on. It's pretty easy to max out. Getting your 3 bases is pretty simple. PartinG going with that Stalker to push back the Overlord.
Yeah, scouting as a Zerg player. I guess it feels bad to be the Overlord, but obviously you can position it over high ground. It's you see exactly the same setup, but on the other side, obviously we don't have the same level of aggression coming from Rogue.
Look at that, Twilight coming up. So is this something really, really cheesy like Glaives? Or, yeah, okay, it's not likely. It looks like it's probably going to be a DT-based Archon drop coming out of PartinG, which it's a solid build. Pretty popular right now, too.
Yeah, I don't think really this is anything designed to, you know, get crazy damage done. But I mean, the upside is obviously very high. It's one of those skill checks, you know. Like, can you push this away? Yes, you get to play the rest of the game.
Yeah, the DTs are so often that it's like, hey, did you skimp too much? Oh, you didn't? Okay, I'll make Archons. And when they do, you're like, oh, look at that, a free win. Isn't that interesting?
So nice. Maybe a little bit of a precautionary wall there from PartinG, because I don't think he's really gotten crazy amounts of intel on the other side. Just have that adept kind of
Yeah, generally you just kind of want to throw it down. You know, better safe than sorry. If Lings run up and they get in and they see your build, then you know it's a lot harder to pull anything off. Rogue exiting the area just in case something like a Prism flies over to help the Stalker kill him off.
Yeah, and it's the exact build that you were talking about. Got a nice little smiley face right there with the gases on top and the Nexus in the middle.
Yeah.
Really like it when maps help us out with that, what do you call it when something looks like something it's not?
Oh.
There's an entire subreddit for it. Somebody tweeted at me, I'll say it later on. But here comes that drop. The DTs will not warp in quite as quickly, so I think when a lot of people were seeing the patch coming out that makes that warp in a lot longer, this is obviously one of those strategies that will be kind of impacted by that.
Of course, it's not live as of yet.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll see. When it comes around. I don't think they actually put a date down, did they?
No, it's just a community update.
Yeah, it's kind of like this is what they're thinking.
Yeah, it's thinking about it in the future and jumping on top of that first Spore. This is that skill check we were talking about. Can you catch your opponent slipping? And he did a little bit. Spore's running away.
Oh my God, look at that. This is actually a really good micro by PartinG so far. I feel like he's chasing that just slightly too long. But if you can get the hatchery,
yeah,
it's gigantic. The thing is, I don't know that he's going to, right? Oh my God, oh my God.
It's coming back, it's transfused. He's trying to get on top of it. They don't have Blink. Oh, the perfect's around. The transfuses are massive.
Oh, that's crazy. Now, can he actually kill the hatchery off?
Just in time. And War Prism's doing what War Prisms do. Getting in, getting out. What a pickoff for PartinG.
That was almost like the clutchest hold ever until it wasn't.
Right up until the end there.
Yeah.
The transfuses, man. Imagine old transfuse on that. Boop, boop, back
no
up to full HP.
Everything's healed all the way, and then the Prism dies
Bracket
probably.
we can heal it instantly.
Yeah.
The Zerg Death Coil, but it doesn't work quite the same way anymore. In the end, man, that is a heartbreaking pickoff, but also it means he's more susceptible if more DT shenanigans happen later on.
Yeah, you know, this just puts Rogue behind. So now we got to check, like, what is Rogue's plan to come back here? You know, he does not want to lose 0-2 to PartinG here. This looked like a group that he should be able to win.
Yeah.
But PartinG's playing a very clean game right now. He's just clearing creep after getting that nice advantage, and he has Forge, you know, getting his upgrades. He's producing probes, so he's obviously going to take a third base. And it's not like there's an attack that Rogue can do that PartinG's afraid of. So he's just going to get upgrades and work on his economy.
Wow, what PartinG is this? I feel like we talked about the storylines. PartinG, a player that's overperforming, Rogue underperforming, so they're kind of meeting here in the winners match. And I really do think that the more and more we see little moves like this, just continually being active on the map, threatening, having big moves to test these skills, everything's working out for PartinG, and it's just really fleshing out a lot of his play, whereas he used to be this kind of monolithic, aggressive, wacky player.
Oh, do you see that Spire?
I do.
I love it. I love it. I love Spire in this matchup right now, and that a lot of Zergs are starting to mix this in, starting to try this out a little bit.
Is that just because we don't have as many Stargate openers?
Yeah, it's definitely part of it, right? If you have Stargate around and you're consistently running around and you see the Spire, the mutas will not do anything at all, right? You make a few mixes ahead of time. But we've seen like some really interesting builds, like for instance from Dark. In this last season, he had some really cool builds where he was like on Roach Ravager for a little bit, and then eventually went into some mutas and tried to utilize that. And he did it twice and had some really cool things that we went over on in depth. But I don't know exactly what Rogue's plan is with this, and I've seen him go mutas on this map against this strat before and go like mass spines, but it doesn't seem to be that strategy right now.
Well, obviously, dumping a lot of your gas into Ravagers is going to delay that a little bit. The Spire just now coming up, or in the next few seconds. So the name of the game is holding on right now. Those Immortals are so scary. The Archon's obviously strong in the front. And look at how many sentries he has. Oh, my God.
Yeah, when you see that many Ravagers, though, going up that ramp is, like, impossible, I think. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that.
Dude, I said it earlier on. It just makes him so much more vulnerable once you find that vulnerability, continuing to exploit it. Now, continuing to push up. Look at all of these force fields. They just never stop. As many biles as come down, there's more force fields right there to replace it. but you still can't push up the ramp.
Yeah, he actually lost a decent amount of sentries there as well. You got to be very careful about this when he has that many Ravagers. Like, PartinG feels like he can trade right now, and I think he's mostly right. We'll see if he can actually break through.
Yeah, very well placed force fields. They're down. Where's round number 2? He did lose a lot of those sentries, so round number 2's used to try to escape, and using that Warp Prism as well, but back at it again. Cape Boy, our masked man, our Cape Crusader. No drone is safe, Artosis.
Doing some work for sure, and he actually gets to scout that Nidus, which is pretty important, isn't it?
I mean, that would be a good thing to see. Right now, Alive is out there mumbling under his breath. Protoss scouts the Nidus.
Yeah.
Nidus see the Nidus. So yeah, he sees the Overlord too, and I think PartinG really able to think a couple steps ahead at this point. So Rogue's not even going to use it aggressively. I mean,
oh my God, look at that! The Archon actually blocking everything, so he gets up into the third base.
He's actually a little bit out of position.
Yeah, he definitely is, but I don't think you can get a kill here, right?
I mean, there are defensive shield batteries, there's a Warp Prism, so that makes it more difficult.
The DTs are shredding.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to deal with them here either, so sure, this is a hold here for PartinG. He does lose a few pros, but I think keeping the base alive is mission accomplished.
The amount of damage those DTs put out was
Jeez
pretty
Louise.
crazy. Comes back with that Overseer, still making roaches. Now, let's not forget, he has a Spire. There is potential at some point still to go into mutas, but he doesn't have the money for it right now.
Oh, and those are force fields where there are no more corrosive vials to knock them down. Surrounding these roaches means big supply swings for PartinG. And Rogue, he's going to try to reunite us here for reinforcements, but oh, look at the Warp Prism. How good is the control here for PartinG? Can he hang on? The answer is an emphatic yes.
Yeah, looks pretty good so far here. Great targeting by Rogue overall. He's really trying to keep those Immortals as low as is possible. Throws up a Nidus there. Maybe a little bit of overdoing it. Not quite able to break through.
It's just something else for PartinG to deal with, but he can. He does it. He is controlling everything so perfectly on the high ground. I don't know if this is it for Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue is pretty low on drones right now, and you know he's really been focusing so heavily on making these roaches and trading them out. He's actually done like a surprisingly decent job of it, I feel like, considering the micro of PartinG and the fact, just look at his army. I mean, roaches aren't supposed to break up a ramp against Immortals, and I guess while they didn't, he did better than anticipated.
Right. You know, we saw that Spire earlier, but that really hasn't come into play almost at all.
Well,
so,
I think because PartinG got so aggressive, it forced him in those Ravagers like you mentioned before, right? It's like, you can't make the mutas when you're about to die. You need to make them in a situation like this, but then his drone count was kind of low, right? The DT harass did a good job. He's been forcing and making all these roaches so much.
Well, and even now, there's no anti-air to deal with this Prism, which makes the Immortals quite literally immortal, and so there's no way you can break up there even with Infinity Roaches. I need Solar here to say hello, hello, as those 3 Immortals kill everything.
Yeah. Well, Swarm Hosts are actually going to be what he switches into, and I love that he has this type of flexibility. Because I could have seen him being like, you know, I have the Spire, let me use it. I've traded out reasonably well. His army is not that good against air, but I think the Swarm Host is a pretty decent call. He's got the Nidus tech already. He's kind of keeping him back.
Well, this is that trademark play that I was talking about for Rogue that he really pioneered. Obviously, it's a little bit different as times and patches and maps change, but the idea is still the same. The Swarm Hosts go in, the Swarm Hosts come out. Can't explain that.
Well, they're not coming out of that one.
I mean, hopefully not for their sake. There is another one, and there'll probably be 2 or 3 of these spread around the map, so it gives Swarm Hosts those that mobility that they really lack otherwise. But PartinG's doing an excellent job proactively finding them.
That's crazy, yeah. Look at that. He knocks down all the Niduses right when you really need your Swarm Hosts out there doing something.
PartinG.
So,
I mean, he's just everywhere he needs to be, like State Farm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would want from a Protoss player.
I need Protoss players selling me insurance.
If you ever need to insure your warp or your future in a competitive esport, Protoss will get you there every
shield
time.
batteries.
There you go.
Okay, Locust coming out right now.
I mean, this is exactly where you want them to defend back at home, but they're not able to be aggressive. The retreat is exactly what PartinG can do now that he knows about them. He can pull back. He's got more than enough time to push Rogue away.
Yeah, he's actually picked off quite a few of these Archons. Not that much left over, but the ground-pounding army here of PartinG is still so strong. Rogue going to give up this base, but I don't think he's going to GG quite yet. he still has a bit of a chance. PartinG is not on 4 bases.
Well, here we
He's really
go.
putting everything into this push.
Yep, this is a big way to defend. Trying to go in for the flank, deals with the force fields pretty well. Where's that next round of Locust? They should be coming in from behind, but they're really nowhere to be seen.
I'm not sure exactly what he's doing with those right now, but it seems like he's starting to break down this army. Another warp in from PartinG going down.
Oh, he cancels it and loses the Prism.
What a big deal there. Now he can get those Immortals, so
There's
important.
those Locusts. He wins the fight at home and gets across the map for harassment. Rogue with a huge turnaround. That's
Beautiful.
it.
Beautifully
GG.
done by Rogue. Wow.
Damn.
What a game that was. Let's not forget he lost his 3rd to DTs.
Oh yeah, to start things out, and he kept taking damage from random DTs throughout that map.
Yeah.
He lost a lot of his army when he tried to attack from DTs, and man, I really felt, I feel my mind is exactly what PartinG's expression was right there. It's just so rare that you get a game where you feel like both players really just get to show what they're best at.
Yeah, well, PartinG played very well, except for when he kept attacking up that 3rd ramp.
That's right.
That was definitely where he kind of threw it. He was at an advantage right there. And the thing is, the attack did certain things, like it forced the Roaches out, it forced a lot of Ravagers. He felt like he could trade, and he could for a bit. Like the first attack up was good, but he kept it up. It was like he was just trying to get Rogue to get out of the game.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a tilter right there. You can see how visually emotional PartinG was in between those games. And our last map is New Repugnancy. Rogue has shown kind of that he can get a little bit down and dirty with it, but PartinG, I know there's that dark Protoss soul inside you somewhere, and maybe it's time to return to the old PartinG and pull something out to win game
It's
number 3.
cannon rush time.
Now, let's see it. We're getting into game 3 on New Repugnancy. Which PartinG you're gonna see? This is
Pixel 1, PartinG.
and his opponent is
Genair Green Wings, Rogue.
You know, Artosis, I think this is one of those times where I think PartinG touched on it in his interview, where he said that his big, coming back to play StarCraft again was one of the illustrations that class is permanent. When he was talking about getting his top 8 finish, I feel like one of the biggest hallmarks of that class is the ability to deal with crushing defeats like that one, where you put yourself in a great spot. Everything that you've done to get to that moment has been great.
Yeah.
And then you have it, and you let it slip.
Throws really hurt. They really, really do. I guess you already said it as well as it can be said. It hurts to get yourself into that spot. You did all these wonderful things.
Yeah.
The DT sniped the Hatchers, a lot of great micro there, a lot of clutch decision making, and then you kind of are like overestimating yourself a bit.
I think that's one of the most painful parts about StarCraft is when you put in that much work at the end of the game. If you lose, maybe you learned a lesson from it in the long run, but for that game you lost. So
Yeah.
for PartinG, he's got to have to clear his mind and come back with a fresh viewpoint here. He's getting harassed already. Rogue trying to dictate the pace. And that wasn't one of those blocking hatcheries to go for a rush afterwards, but we still might see something along those lines.
Certainly possible. Notice he throws down a Stargate as part of his wall. So this is a big nod of respect towards the trend of cheese that we've seen that I think Dark helped to kick off a little bit. He was definitely pretty aggressive in situations like this. Lots of offensive hatcheries, lots of rush follow-ups. But when you get the Stargate before your Nexus, you're feeling pretty fine. It's pretty hard to really break that.
Yeah, the whole goal is what don't I need in order to get a Nexus? And as much as you can get away with avoiding, that's kind of the way you want to start out. But PartinG, you're right, he's giving a lot of respect to Rogue. And once again, kind of defaulting, saying, look, as long as I can get what I need to play kind of that standard game, maybe that's what he wants to go towards.
And look at this. This Adept is actually doing massive damage. To kill 2 drones right now in the game, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it hasn't taken really any damage. He's going to be able to shade away and stay alive and keep that scouting out there on the map. He gets in and sees, more importantly, the number of lings that are coming out to deal with that Adept, and it's totally appropriate. So he knows really nothing is coming his way, as long as he didn't miss something massive, you know?
Well, I think he knows everything that's going on at the moment, right? He saw the 3rd hatchery, he saw the amount of lings and the amount of queens, so he basically knows where all the minerals have gone at this point. Should be feeling reasonably confident. Does have that first Oracle coming out. I guess he's going to fly across the map and kill 2 drones, then turn around with a yellow Oracle. That'll be fun. But a Phoenix coming out as well to clear out some of these Overlords.
Yeah, and Rogue right on the other side. This is another one of those little skill checks. Are you allowed to play the game? Totally in position. And especially after losing so much to those DTs earlier on, you can see right on time those scores are going to finish up.
All right, so you get the 2 drones and absquatulates.
That's right.
With that yellow Oracle.
That's your $10 word for the day.
Yeah.
Also, if you're taking your PSATs pretty soon, it's going to help you out.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is all pretty standard par for the course right now. What is he going to do with this Twilight, I wonder, though? I feel like he's going to go Glaives.
Yeah, I mean, we could absolutely see that. The big tell for me about Glaives is the gateway count. I think we're seeing 3 gateways. Yep, there it is.
3-gate Glaives is really, really nice. You can kind of get into 3rd base and some robos and stuff.
Because I think it was 3 more, so it's to be a total of 4 if I'm not totally mistaken.
Oh, you're right. He is going into 4-gate. You're right.
Okay. We're 4-gating. This time there's a Nexus.
Yes.
Something's never changed. There's just an appropriate
Is this
number
a
of things to have.
Dirtier or less dirty 4-gate? I would say less.
What is the defining characteristic?
Of dirt or of 4-gate?
Yes, of the dirtiness of the 4-gate.
Well, I mean, Adepts killing drones versus just all inning on one base.
Oh, so it's the end result. It's not the set, what is set in motion before there.
It's more like, how do you feel about your opponent after that you realize what they're doing to you?
Okay.
Which one are you more disgusted by?
That's some results-based emotions there, Artosis.
Yeah. It's the only way to do it. Okay, he sees. That is a lot
Whoa!
of Adepts.
Yes, that's like the kind of shade the Spartans would fight under. There's quite a little bit of it, but I mean, there's enough to block, I think. Yeah, and another sentry right on time. There's only one direction those Adepts are going, and that is way across the map. Glaives finishing up. Let's find out how dirty this push is.
Okay, well, that's a lot of queens. He does have a few roaches out right now. Not too many lings at home. Obviously, they're going to be cleaned up very quickly. I'm not feeling too hot right now about Rogue's position.
Yes, that's a lot of drones and a lot of Adepts, and in general, those are not great combinations here. So, I mean, he does have the Zerglings that will surround them. What's the shade timing looking like on those? Actually, it's going to take a while, so quite a few of these Adepts are going to get taken down. He's only really lost 10 workers, so I mean, definitely not critical damage at this point.
Yeah, it's really interesting, actually. That shade of the natural was a bit of a mistake from PartinG. There wasn't that much of the main chasing him, and there were still quite a few drones that he was getting, but he let it finish, and it did not work out well. Ended up kind of ending the attack, so a little bit of good luck on Rogue's side there, I think, with PartinG making a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to why you would do that, because obviously when you go into the main, you know you've just got, that's your play time, right?
Yeah.
So what is the follow-up? And it looks like the answer is more.
Oh, yes. If you go for the Glaives, I mean, you actually can expand behind that, I think, but just has followed it up with these Sentries and Immortals, wants to continue the push forward.
Yeah, round 2 with a Warp Prism there, but I think this time around Rogue will have the infrastructure he needs.
I think so. I think he holds this without too much of a hassle.
So what does he need to hold this? Is it just Ravagers, static defense?
Yeah, like he's got the static defense buildings. Those, I mean, I could take them or leave them, to be honest. But if you have a nice concave, you have your creep out so that you can kind of concave around where they're coming in, and you have a decent amount of biles, it gets a little bit hard to break through.
PartinG setting up. He knows this is, I mean, kind of it. I don't know if there's a whole lot behind staying on 2 bases with that 8 gateways.
He's all in. He's all in. Okay, so he's going to push, and the thing is, he will threaten shades towards drones. Yeah. So that's going to be where the hard decisions are made. Here we go, though. Ooh, a lot of force fields going down, getting biled immediately. There's that first shade. Now, is he going to let that one finish?
Well, I guess this is where we find out, has PartinG learned his lesson, or is he still going in with shades? The answer is not anymore. He is staying back, but I mean, the longer he stays here, the longer those Ravagers get a chance to finish morphing, the more biles there's going to be to break down these not quite limitless force fields.
Yeah, what a interesting position that we're in right now. Like, PartinG really needs some sort of huge damage to happen. Rogue is not that high on drones, but his position transitions much better than what PartinG's does.
Exactly. Well, here we go. There's the force field wall to try to keep his Rogue off of his army, but immediately biled away, even pre-biling a little bit there. More force fields coming down, and I mean, for now, those force fields might look limitless, but the energy's starting to get low on those sentries, Artosis.
Well, if we didn't have that Set 3 2019 GSL Season 3 Round of 32 Group A winners match thing, then I could tell you exactly how many force fields are here.
Well,
But
instead
he
it's
is
a
getting
mystery.
low.
You just want to read the end of the story first, Artosis. No.
Yeah, this time I do.
We have to wait. It's just like, first of all, we don't show how many of those units are damaged. We don't show the energy. It's just all a mystery. This is like Brood War commentary. You just don't know what's out there.
Look at those 3 Adepts. Can you even believe that? 8 kills already. Just shades a few through. Beautiful move there by PartinG. That is exactly the type of move he needed.
The same thing he did kind of in game 1 with those Zealot warp-ins over and over again. It's not the big attempt. It's the small ones afterwards that get the damage done. Really kind of ironic he's doing it again.
Oh my god, there's so many drones going down. 16 drones falling to 3 Adepts.
35 workers for Rogue.
It's not even done.
Oh my god.
It's not done.
How is this what does
And
damage?
look at this. Rogue is going for a counterattack, realizing this terrible
No, he's
position.
pulling back.
Well, PartinG walked home.
I can't believe
So
this.
he had his units at the top of the ramp waiting for him.
Man, these last couple of games have just been emotional roller coasters. Used to be 21,
What are we
22,
doing?
23.
Never
Okay.
23.
No, that would have been a prime number, but
22 drone kills, shame on you. 23 drone kills, shame on me.
that's what they say, Artosis.
Okay,
Well,
that was ludicrous. And now he's got DTs on top of it.
Imagine thinking you needed a whole army to get that much damage done. No.
Yeah, really. It's like,
Man.
what was I doing with big armies?
Well, you know, now it's an interesting thought to have to say, well, you know, I actually did the damage I kind of needed, maybe not the way I wanted to. So instead of just going all in, like you said, he's going to pull back, expand behind it, you know, go a different path here.
Yeah, he can go
No
for
way
a longer
his DTs
game.
do damage
Oh
too.
my god,
No.
he's put 1 DT everywhere.
Oh, Artosis, hide your eyes.
I'm just staring at Rogue's face right now because
No, this is why you guys should come down to the studio, because there's huge cameras pointed right at the players' faces, and we're about to see a grimace of disgust on Rogue after losing that many. 13 more.
13 more drones. That's wild. He's getting a Bailey Nest. Like, I think he's trying to give himself one shot here.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how he's. Look at that army. Just
Yeah.
look at that army. Look how many sentries there are.
Fool me 22 times, shame on me. Fool me 13 more times, shame on you.
Yeah. There you go. That's 14 sentries, though, seriously. That is just...
He did lose, actually, a few of them early, so that's a super high number, especially since so many of them were remade. Well, here's that base party was trying to get up, and so Rogue does commit to trying to kill that, but that means that he might not have enough to defend back at home. But man, PartinG and Ramps, name a less iconic duo. He kind of overextended and lost the previous game.
Yeah.
So a little bit of deja vu here for him.
I'm kind of surprised that he's over there pushing right now. Rogue's counterattack, I actually feel like this is doing all right. He picks off an Immortal. If Rogue can just sit here and defend, which I don't know if that's possible, but if he can, that's, you know, maybe PartinG throws again.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Artosis. This is a very similar situation, but it feels like he's warped in just enough to defend back at home, but at the same time hasn't been able to get any damage done to Rogue on the other side of the map. And wow, that Nexus lived.
You know, Rogue is maxing out right now. They're both on very similar worker counts. 14 sentries, 5 Immortals, and the all-important Warp Prism. Is that enough to kill 46 Roaches? I say yes.
This game is just a transformation. We're seeing PartinG go from Gateway Man to Greatway Man. He is all the way across the map, and he has so many force fields, Rogue can't even bile them all.
No, Well, here's that counterattack once again. You're just trying to warp in Zealous to deal with this.
I think that might be just enough to maybe save the Nexus behind this, but still, there's no progress here from PartinG.
Right? He's stuck not being able to go up that ramp.
And that means
Feels
that
like PartinG is so good at getting himself into good spots, and then he just tries to kill. And it's like, okay, against most players in the world, you can just kill. Against the absolute best, don't ever try to just kill him.
yeah,
Don't do it. Get further ahead. I've been saying it for 11 years.
One day they'll listen.
No, they won't.
What's that image macro? It's like they hated him for they knew not what he said or something. It's just anyway.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
They didn't believe his words.
Is
Anyway.
that Star Trek or?
No, it's
Oh, it's the Jesus one.
yeah,
I know what
exactly.
you're saying.
It's a beautiful meme, but I'm not doing it justice here. Anyway,
You normally do memes so much justice.
yeah, that's right. I'm really letting you guys down. Much in the way that PartinG might have let down our expectations from the first half of this game, which just looked fantastic. He's recalling back home, and finally, the shoe is, as they say, Artosis, on the other foot.
Brings that Prism home, so he knows that juggling is going to occur.
Well, here we go. This is the moment you need that juggling. How good of a circus-performing Protoss player is PartinG here? He's putting on his clown nose. He's got his floppy shoes on. He's ready, and so are those force fields, but the Biles are even more most readier, Artosis. They just smack them down as soon as they come up.
Truly endless force fields. And now we get down to the point where you can actually micro with this Prism. There's not that much left over here for PartinG.
Oh, man, Artosis,
Oh
we're going
my
to see the
God.
micro of his life if he wants to hang on here. The Biles, the Roaches, the Swarm, the power overwhelming.
Oh.
Rogue, it's just about to push through here.
Yeah, looks like he should be able to break through. 4 red Immortals left
Oh.
over. Oh my God.
I mean, how good are Immortals, Artosis? It's the only thing standing on 4 legs between PartinG and a trip to the losers match for Rogue. He's got his hand around PartinG's throat.
I just don't know. Can he actually micro his way out of this one? This is so many Ravagers. 4 red Immortals. And here we Oh, he's trying to juggle
Biles
up the
coming
hill.
down.
Oh my God.
They do get controlled. They're picked up onto the high ground, but they can't stay alive long enough. Rogue completes the comeback.
That was a wild series. I'm like caught off guard. That was, wow.
We were
Just
turning
wow.
around to see the look on Rogue's face when he sees what a bad position he was in.
Well, when you lose 35 workers to 5 units,
Incredible. And it's the same story in games 2 and 3, where PartinG gets into such a good spot, tries to drop the hammer, but it's too heavy to pick up. And I think the look on PartinG's face really tells it all.
yeah, definitely frustrated with himself. Now, he can definitely still make it out of the group. Obviously, he's going to have to play a Terran for that, and he's already shown some great PvT tonight, but that series definitely felt like it could have been a PartinG victory, 2-0 or 2-1.
Well, we're going to have a few more games to find out which one it's going to be, but for now, let's throw it over to Andy for an interpretation of our player interview.
Hello everyone, we're going to have an interview with Rogue, the first winner of tonight's match. Congratulations. Thank you.
자, 승자전 1세트 다소 불안하게 패배했지만
The first set, you lost and it was unfortunate, but you do make a comeback and end up winning 2-1. How do you feel?
대막전이 시간 준비할 시간도
In
많이
the opening day, I didn't have much time to prepare,
많이 도와주면서
but I helped Trap with his scrims and then I was able to gain some experience from that.
자신 있었어요.
So I think that really helped me today and raised my
너무
confidence.
빨리 헤어지게 돼서 사실 적응이 안 됐었습니다. 시즌 2 이후에 많이 좀 아쉬움이
After
있었어요.
season 2, you've had some unfortunate series.
그때 뭐라고 변명할 게 없었던 게
In season 2,
토스가 사기였던 시절.
I didn't have much excuse because Protoss was OP back then.
저한테 떨어진 거라서 그냥 제가 연습을 너무 소홀히 했구나.
I just like to practice
마음을 다시 잡고 열심히.
and I try to get my mindset
네.
back.
요즘은 들어보니까 굉장히 폼을 끌어올리셨다고
Recently, your form has been quite good
요즘 어떤 각오로
and you raised your form to a very high
계신가요?
level. And how did you practice these days?
이번에 성적을 내지 못하면 블리즈컨을 갈 수 없기 때문에.
If I can't make good performance this time around, I can go to the BlizzCon. And I have nothing to do when BlizzCon is happening. So I want to go to BlizzCon as much as possible.
네. 확실히 그 2017년의 기적을 재현해 주시길
I guess
정말
you
많은
will be able
팬분들이
to
기대하고
reanimate
있습니다.
the 2017
그래서
miracle.
그런지 오늘 경기력도 좋았던 것 같아요. 1세트는
Your performance has been quite immaculate today.
다소 과감한 빌드로 출발을 하셨거든요.
In the first set, you
이유가
went with a
있을까요?
very aggressive build.
원래는
What was the reason behind that?
팀비트를 못하게 해처리를 지어서 링 올인을
I was gonna build a hatchery and gonna go for the Zergling rush.
그 제가 선코를 제 머릿속에 생각을 안 하고 가지고
And I didn't predict cybernetics core, and then things kind of got really twisted.
바로 2, 3세트를 따낸 이병렬 선수인데요.
But you did end up winning the second and the third set.
박용 선수가 최후의 적으로서
In season
정말
2,
최대 숫자였던 프로토스들을
Dark
하나씩
ended up
뚫고
beating
우승까지
so many Protoss players
차지했습니다.
and ended up winning the
그리고 마지막까지
GSL
또
season 2.
보셨는데요. 이번 시즌은 이병렬 선수
This season,
전체적인 분위기는 어떻게 느끼고
Do you
계세요?
think you can do it this time around?
명호의 토스전을 많이 보고
I've seen Dark do his ZVP a lot, and I've witnessed it,
제가 되게 많이 연습을 했어요.
and I practiced according to his strategies.
토스전을 많이 제가
And I definitely realized that his way of playing against Protoss players is very effective.
해서 토스전을 하면은 뭔가 손이
And I hope I can show it more on
안
stage.
되는 것 같아요.
박용 선수 스타일에 그 가난한 저그의 운영을 많이 연습을 또 하신 거예요.
You're saying that you practice Dark's unique style of play.
안 맞는 거예요. 그래가지고
I mean, I was practicing it, but it wasn't really suitable for me.
생각을 좀 하고 있어요.
So I'm kind of fixing on it right now.
해봤지만 이병렬 선수의 스타일과는 조금 많이 다른 것 같아요.
You're saying the style is quite different from your play.
선수의 실력 저희가 믿고 있으니까 또 기대를
But we know
해보겠습니다.
that you're a very skilled player.
아까 해설의 말을 빌리자면 인지도가 낮은 해외 저그들의 게임들까지 다 챙겨보신다고 하던데.
Apparently, the rumor says that you tune into
안 챙겨보는데
the international Zerg players.
저기는 세랄
Not really.
말고는 안 챙겨보고
I only watch Zeros plays.
저는 명호나 세랄 거는 무조건 다 챙겨보고
I watch Dark and Zeros
그거 빼고는
plays,
그냥 생각나는 것만 챙겨보고
and apart from that, I just tune in time to
그러면
time.
이병렬 선수가 인정하는 딱 선수는 그 두 명.
So you're saying that those two people
뿐인 건가 봐요.
you have high
다
respect for?
인정하긴 하는데
Yes, I mean I do have high respect for lots of players,
걸 보면은 저도 배우는 게 너무
but
많아가지고
those two players I learn a lot from.
챙겨보고 있어요.
네, 이번 시즌 이병렬 선수와 또 그 선수들의 활약
Yeah,
기대를
we look forward to your
해보도록
performance
하겠습니다. 자, 이번
this season.
시즌만큼은 이병렬 선수가 블리즈컨을 위해서 더욱
This season you're striving very hard to get your ticket to BlizzCon.
들려주시죠.
Anything you would like to say to your fans?
오랜만에 또 GSL 경기를 해서
And it's been a long time since I last played a GSL,
경기력이 제 스스로 뭔가 만족.
and today's performance was not satisfactory.
제 연습실의 감을 좀 다시 찾아야 될 것 같고.
I think I need to
찾는다면 다시
find the feel that I have at
성적을
my
좋은 성적 낼
practice
수
room,
있으니까, 많이 응원해 주세요.
and please do continue
다시
to cheer
한번
for
유리
me.
진출 축하드리겠습니다.
Once again, congratulations on your win, and that is the end of the
네,
interview.
이렇게 GSL 시즌 3 첫 번째 16강 진출자 이병렬
Great job there by Rogue, and I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah,
easily.
absolutely.
I think those are a great way to start off a brand new season of GSL.
Well, PartinG's looking very good as well, so I'm getting a little bit worried for Special.
Ooh.
You know, he had such a great season last season. He had a great WCS run. He's still in fantastic shape.
He even looked pretty good in some of his games earlier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, you know, PartinG right now is really, like, the way he's played so far tonight, if he gets a round of 8 again, I won't be surprised. Like, this was just good
Well, now we're
play.
going to head out to a quick break, so don't go anywhere. I've got the losers match coming up.